dive into the captivating life and legendary career of Frank Sinatra, the iconic singer and actor who left an indelible mark on the 20th century. From his humble beginnings in Hoboken, New Jersey, to his meteoric rise to fame as the Sultan of Swoon, Sinatra's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. Frank Sinatra was one of the most popular artists of the 20th century, building a career as an award-winning singer and film actor. Who was Frank Sinatra? Singer and actor Frank Sinatra rose to fame singing big band numbers. In the 1940s and 1950s, he had an impressive array of hit songs and albums and appeared in dozens of films, winning an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for his role in From Here to Eternity. He left behind a massive catalog of work that includes iconic songs like Love and Marriage, Strangers in the Night, My Way, and New York, New York. He died on May 14, 1998, in Los Angeles, California. Early life and career. Francis Albert Frank Sinatra was born on December 12, 1915, in Hoboken, New Jersey. The only child of Sicilian immigrants, the teenage Sinatra decided to become a singer after watching a performance by Bing Crosby in the mid-1930s. He was already a member of the Glee Club at school and began singing in local nightclubs. Radio exposure caught the attention of bandleader Harry James, with whom Sinatra made his first recordings, including All or Nothing at All. In 1940, Tommy Dorsey invited Sinatra to join his band. After 2 years of chart-topping success with Dorsey, Sinatra decided to go his own way. Solo artist. Between 1943 and 1946, Sinatra's solo career flourished as the singer released a series of hit singles. The crowds of Bobby Soxer fans that Sinatra attracted with his dreamy baritone earned him nicknames like The Voice and the Sultan of Swoon. It was the war years, and there was a great loneliness, recalled Sinatra, who was unfit for military service due to a perforated eardrum. I was the boy who was at every corner drugstore and who was gone, drafted into the war. That was all. Sinatra made his acting debut in films in 1943 with Reveille with Beverly and Higher and Higher and Higher. In 1945, he won a special Oscar for The House I Live In, a 10-minute short film made to promote racial and religious tolerance on the home front. Sinatra's popularity began to wane in the post-war years, leading to the loss of his recording and film contracts in the early 1950s. But in 1953, he made a triumphant comeback, winning an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for his portrayal of the Italian-American soldier Maggio in the classic From Here to Eternity. Although this was his first non-singing role, Sinatra quickly found a new vocal outlet when he received a recording contract with Capitol Records later that same year. The Sinatra of the 1950s brought a more mature sound with jazzier inflections in his voice. Having regained stardom, Sinatra enjoyed continued success in both film and music in the years that followed. He received another Oscar nomination for his work in The Man with the Golden Arm, 1955, and was critically acclaimed for his performance in the original version of The Manchurian Candidate, 1962. Meanwhile, he continued to be a formidable presence on the charts. When record sales began to decline in the late 1950s, Sinatra left Capitol to establish his own record label, Reprise, in association with Warner Bros., which later bought Reprise. Sinatra also created his own independent film production company, Artemis. Rat Pack and No. 1 hits. By the mid-1960s, Sinatra was back at the top. He received a Grammy for Lifetime Achievement and headlined the 1965 Newport Jazz Festival with the Count Basie Orchestra. This period also marked his debut in Las Vegas, where he remained a headliner at Caesars Palace for years, as a founding member of the Rat Pack alongside Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, Peter Lawford, and Joey Bishop. Sinatra came to epitomize the hard-drinking, womanizing, and gambling swinger, an image continuously reinforced by the popular press and Sinatra's own successful albums. With his modern flair and timeless class, even the young radicals of the time had to give Sinatra his due. As Jim Morrison of The Doors once said, "No one can touch him." Rat Pack and No. 1 hits. By the mid-1960s, Sinatra was back at the top. He received a Grammy for Lifetime Achievement and headlined the 1965 Newport Jazz Festival with the Count Basie Orchestra. This period also marked his debut in Las Vegas, where he remained a headliner at Caesars Palace for years. As a founding member of the Rat Pack, alongside Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, Peter Lawford, and Joey Bishop, Sinatra came to epitomize the hard-drinking, womanizing, and gambling swinger, an image continuously reinforced by the popular press and Sinatra's own successful albums. With his modern flair and timeless class, even the young radicals of the time had to give Sinatra his due. As Jim Morrison of The Doors once said, "No one can touch him." Personal life. Frank Sinatra married his childhood sweetheart, Nancy Barbato, in 1939. They had 3 children together: Nancy, born in 1940, Frank Sinatra Jr., born in 1944, and Tina, born in 1948, before their marriage dissolved in the late 1940s. In 1951, Sinatra married actress Ava Gardner. Following their separation, Sinatra married for the 3rd time to Mia Farrow in 1966. This union also ended in divorce in 1968, and Sinatra married for the 4th and final time in 1976 to Barbara Blakely Marx, the ex-wife of comedian Zeppo Marx. The two remained together until Sinatra's death, over 20 years later. In October 2013, Farrow made headlines after stating in an interview with Vanity Fair that Sinatra could potentially be the father of her 25-year-old son Ronan, who is Farrow's only official biological child, with director Woody Allen. In the interview, she also acknowledged Sinatra as the great love of her life, saying, "We never really split up." In response to the buzz surrounding his mother's comments, Ronan jokingly tweeted, "Listen, we are all possibly Frank Sinatra's children." Death and legacy. In 1987, author Kitty Kelly published an unauthorized biography of Sinatra, accusing the singer of relying on ties to the mafia to build his career. Such claims failed to diminish Sinatra's widespread popularity. In 1993, at the age of 77, he gained legions of new and younger fans with the release of Duets, a collection of 13 Sinatra standards that he re-recorded, featuring collaborations with names such as Barbra Streisand, Bono, Tony Bennett, and Aretha Franklin. Although the album was a huge success, some critics criticized the quality of the project, as Sinatra recorded his vocals long before his collaborators recorded their track. Sinatra performed for the last time in 1995 at the Palm Desert Marriott Ballroom in California. On May 14, 1998, Frank Sinatra died of a heart attack at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. He was 82 years old and had finally faced the final curtain. With a show business career spanning over 50 years, Sinatra's enduring mass appeal can perhaps best be explained by the man's own words. "When I sing, I believe I'm honest." In 2010, the well-received biography Frank, The Voice, was published by Doubleday and written by James Kaplan. The author released a sequel to the volume in 2015, Sinatra, the Chairman, marking the musical icon's centennial eye. Would you like to follow more fascinating stories like this one? Don't waste time. Subscribe now to our channel to receive regular updates and dive into more exclusive content about music and entertainment icons. Hit the subscribe button and join our community of culture and history enthusiasts.